So I'm making this video because all of us find ourselves right now in some unprecedented and very challenging times. And when I say they're challenging times, I mean they're challenging for everybody, but the truth is they're more challenging for some people than for others, for various reasons. My name is James Tripp and I work with the coaching team at Rock2 Recovery UK. Our work is about helping people transition from life in the services to civilian life, which at the best of times can be a challenging thing, and in times like these can be especially challenging. So what I wanted to share with you here is something that I hope could be of use to you, could be of value to you, because we find ourselves in amongst these circumstances, and the truth of the matter is we don't really have any control with these circumstances. What's happening in the world right now is high impact. It is impacting everybody. It is impacting economies, impacting individuals. It's high impact stuff, but what do we get to do? We personally may sit amongst it and it affects us in our lives, but we don't have any direct control with it. And this can really create a challenge, especially for people who are used to taking action when they need to take action, because what action can we take? And this is an important point, because we human beings, we thrive when we know we can make a difference, and we thrive when we know where we can make a difference. So when we find ourselves in situations like this, where there's stuff happening and it really does impact us, but what can we do? This can kind of have a less than positive effect, in terms of our personal resourcefulness, these sorts of things. We can end up feeling less powerful than we would like to, less like we can make the differences that we need to make right now for ourselves, for the people who are important to us. So what I'd like to offer you in this video is a distinction. It's an understanding, a realization. It's something that's really helped me out in my life in times when I have felt that things were on top of me and I couldn't necessarily change those things as immediately as I would like to have done. It is the distinction of recognizing circumstances versus choice. Circumstances versus choice. I've talked here in this video already about the circumstances we find ourselves inside of. And for me in life, circumstances is anything that we cannot change just like that, with a click of the fingers. Okay? So, I'm sat here on this blue chair. I cannot change the color of this chair with a click of the fingers. It's part of my circumstances. It's not a problem, but it is part of my circumstances. I might find myself in dire financial circumstances. Can I change that with a click of my fingers? No. If not, that's part of my circumstances. So we find ourselves in circumstances all the time. Even sometimes we get caught up in feelings, negative feelings, feelings that are not serving us in being how we really need to be and being at our best in the moment. If we can't change it like that, we might as well, for the time being at least, treat it as circumstances. Now, what I'm saying here is not that we don't have the ability to make a difference with our circumstances. We do. I cannot click my fingers and turn this from a blue chair to a brown chair, but I can set things in motion that will make a difference across time. And this is where the distinction of circumstances versus choice comes in, because if circumstances is everything that we cannot immediately change with a choice in this moment, choice is what we can change. Choice is where we can put the lever in and make a difference right now. Now, here's the thing. Inside of any set of circumstances, there are always many, many choices. There always are many choices. The problem that we face as human beings is we get caught in one way of seeing things. In any given moment, we get caught in one way of seeing things, and when we can only see our circumstances in one way, we miss often all the choices that are available to us. So for me, this has always been a useful thing to remember in life, because when I find myself getting caught up in my thinking that there's nothing I can do right now, that I'm stuck, that this situation is terrible, this situation is awful, I remember that there are choices that I'm not seeing yet, and there always are. And let me get to this in a moment, because I know as you hear that, you might be thinking, right now I'm really stuck and I don't have the choices I need. I totally get where that would come from, I really do. And I want to say something about that. So for me, that's always been a useful thing. When all of this is circumstances, whereabouts is choice? It's always been a useful thing for me to know that there's choice and to find the choice. Now, on a pragmatic level, because I'm aware that when you listen to this, you might be thinking, well, that's some fine thinking there, James. But what about reality? Because these circumstances are real. You know, when reality bites, what about reality? Reality is what it is. But where we have power is in how we meet it. And sometimes we can feel like we don't have control in that, but we really do. There are a lot of choices and a lot of options that pragmatically exist. I mean, I'm not talking about some kind of airy, fairy, positive thinking stuff. I'm talking about how you ready your mind to meet those moments, to be able to make the best of what comes up. Okay? So there are a lot of choices that people have available to them in how they meet a moment, in how they create with the circumstances that come up, so to speak, rather than just merely end up a victim to them, which is so easy to happen when we do not see the choices that we have. So what are these choices? This is where I'm going to invite you, should you feel that this message resonates with you, to actually take advantage of the circumstances right now. Everybody is locked down. They're shut down. And if you find yourself locked down, you can't do the work that you would normally do. You can't engage with the world the way you normally would, because we've all been told we need to stay at home. This can feel disempowering, because what can we do? Well, the one thing that we can do is take advantage of this space, and we can take advantage of this time. And if you've been facing challenges with, what's going on in your emotions, or what's going on in your thinking and how you're meeting all of this, there's an opportunity within this. Because if you have been struggling and you've not been finding the choice yet, this is where Rock2 Recovery can help you out. Our coaches really can help you out. And, if you wonder whether that's true, there's a way you can find out, and that's by getting in touch and speaking with Rock2 Recovery. So if you're looking to get in touch with your choices in amongst all of this, if you're looking to manage your mind and how you meet all of this in perhaps more grounded and resourceful ways to get back on top of these difficult circumstances, you will find a way somewhere around this video of getting in touch, and we will be very happy to help you out where we can.